Przestawiłem te sterowniki. Jak zwykle, nawet jeżeli są identycznie podpisane, to OBS ich nie wyłapuje. Niestety słychać też odrobinkę przynajmniej wiatrak, ale nie da się inaczej żyć. Nie da się żyć bez wiatraka. Nawet nie wiedziałem, że ma być jakaś edycja rozszerzona. Dobry wieczór. No jeszcze trochę. Jeszcze parę dni. Ale jaka edycja rozszerzona? Co nie chcieli rozszerzać? Dupę kretesa? Co to jest edycja rozszerzona? O shit! Nie zauważyłem, że on się... wiatrak się nie przestał kręcić. A, bo mi pilot przestał działać. Zarąbiście. Macie baterię litową na zbyciu? I tego ustawić. Jakich kurwa epizodów? Pierwsza i najważniejsza rzecz, nie jestem na żadnych Discordach, więc nie mam pojęcia, jak te projekty działają. Jeżeli chcecie ze mną o tym rozmawiać, to mi to wytłumaczcie. Ten pilot w ogóle działa? O. Ciekawe, przeleżał w kartonie i niektóre guziki nie działają. Mam nadzieję, że to tylko bateria. O shit, muzyczka się skończyła. Dobry wieczór. Dlaczego jest tak gorąco?
頃森屋をすべて立つ年配かぬ少女を名取った祭り神災い作り出す大座操る身は退屈だと語る色の抜けた顔を見せて彼女はどう幸せとは知らぬがまるかつかめないものなのか言葉をためない侍従たち彼をネブにする少女の目冷たく刺さるその自然イエスマンが汗に溺れる静止を時々見る神の願いは
Jestem bardzo bystry, że tutaj w ogóle to włączyłem. Ale teraz jak już jest włączone, to trzeba rare dropa zdobyć. Przynajmniej jednego. Boję się tego tytułu, bo no to brzmi jak te grupki Polonii na tym, no, na Facebooku, o których słyszałem tak dużo. A! Chodziło tylko o ten Wilhelm Scream? To był ten pik geniuszu? Fajne solo na gitarze. Wejść. A tutaj widzę poważne oświadczenia są. Z Maksimem, no... Brzmi tak amerykańsko, jak tylko się da. Kurwa mać, są 3 typy gaczy, farmienia w gaczy. Jeden jest takim bare minimum, które nawet nie jest przez chwilę fajne. Kęsiu. Chodzi o eventy. Drugim jest to. A co to jest, to ja nawet nie wiem. Ktoś sobie wymyślił górną belkę z dupy. Ej, zgubiłem mój termometr, nie mogę pokazać, że tu jest jakieś 40 stopni i powiedzieć please be patient. I'm fucking melting. Znaczy ja ogólnie jestem zdania, że teksty piosenek nie zawsze muszą mieć sens. Ja bardzo lubię Eurobeat, a Eurobeat nigdy nie ma sensu. Dobra, nie, wyjebane. Wyłączam auto remote i jak teraz nie poleci rare dropka, to w dupie po prostu sobie to włączę potem. O, dostałem reklamę z Cyberpunka. Cool. A w tej reklamie jest Metal Gear. Ja ogólnie jestem fanem muzyki do tego, do Persony głównie. Ale ta Initial też była fajna. Całe szczęście, że zrobili wokół tego cały gatunek potem. Coś tu jeszcze jest? Na szczęście nic. O, ten tryb jest fajny. To Lostbelt jest fajny, kiedy wchodzimy tylko po to, żeby przeczytać fabułę i się odmeldować. Bo jak chcemy pograć jakieś tam, nie wiem, jakieś challenge questy, to dostajemy takie versus Divergent Spirits, które parę razy na miesiąc się zmienia, mamy innego bossa i mamy tam 3 przeciwników, 3 breakbary. Breakbary w tej grze są zajebiste, bo na breakbarze zazwyczaj Seal Graze, Seal Switch. i tak dalej. No i challenge questy polegają na tym, że zaczynasz na levelu 60 i musisz za każdym razem robić dokładnie tą samą walkę, ale o jeden level cięższą. Do 120. Na setnym levelu na którym levelu dostajesz kartę? Nie wiem, te karty są fajne, ale nie mam całego dnia, żeby to robić. O, na 70 jest pierwsza karta. I tak dalej, o 90. Kto to wymyślił, to ja nie mam pojęcia. Dlaczego nie można skoczyć o 10 leveli w górę? Nadal byłoby strasznie żmudne, bo to jest dokładnie ten sam challenge quest, który polega na tym, że po prostu przynieś 4 postaci z konkretnym żywiołem i co turę używaj innego Last Worda. No, to było to. Tak w sumie boję się zapytać, co to jest MC Ghost? O shit, 57 mega. O, pilot przestał w ogóle działać. To mam fajny pilot, mogę nim co najwyżej rzucić i mieć nadzieję, że trafię w guzik.
フェイトグランドオーダーコスモス・イン・ザ・ロストベルト妖精円卓領域アバロン・ルフェ血染めの冠お一つどうだい。
Zapomniałem, że oni to puszczają. W końcu widziałem to 1,5 tygodnia, 2 tygodnie temu. A niestety część Szkocji jest, bo podczas tych meetingów w pałacu awalońskim dowiedzieliśmy się, że że armia Noknarei stacjonuje w Edynburgu. No jutro direct o 16:00 i chyba wtedy oficjalnie pokażą ten zwiastun, jak mu tam było. Fuck, jak on się nazywał? A, Fate Samurai Remnant. Bo już wczoraj w nocy wyciekł, nie wiem czy go widzieliście, pewnie go widzieliście. Mieliśmy ten stary zwiastun kiedyś. Był Kitku. O, chyba nie oglądałem tego z napisami.
まだ死ぬわけにはいかない。
案ずる必要はない。貴様の願いは叶うとも。
Nadal nie mam najmniejszego pomysłu, kto to może być.
君が私の呼び人か。
No w sumie możemy, tylko one są wtedy jako shadow serwanty.
この剣を俺は知っている。
A i moja stara teoria, kim jest Protak, troszeczkę się jebła. Szkoda, to by było fajne, jakby Musashi z tego swojego Lostbeltu się przywołała do tutaj i Musashiemu z Proper Human History nauczycielowała. To byłoby cool. Niestety tak nie jest, bo wczoraj w nocy wyciekł taki oto zwiastun. Animację robiło Cloverworks.
青年の平穏は終わりを迎えた。刃を心を交わし、彼は願いを叶えんとする。
To jest Omega Force. To jest bardzo ważne. Bo Omega Force ostatnimi laty nie miało za dobrych gier. A to po pierwsze nie wygląda jak ich zwykła gra, po drugie może trochę jak Spirit of Sanada. Najbliżej. Grafika lekko przypomina ostatnie Samurai Warriors. Ej, to jest sequel do Yakuzy Kenzan, bo gramy jako Iori. Sakura Spotted, tak by the way. Sakura Spotted. Wygląda na to, że będzie dość spory świat. Miasto chyba będzie normalnym hubem, po którym da się łazić. Nie mamy żadnego potwierdzenia niczego. Jak to gdzie jest tajga? Here. O. Gra pokazuje, co jest najważniejsze przy okazji do animację z serwantem. O, patrzcie na tego gościa, jak widzi, jak się głaska piesła. Widzieliście? You can pet a dog. Game of the Year. To jest dokładnie ten sam gość, co ci wszyscy goście na Twitterze, którzy tylko patrzą, czy w grze da się głaskać pieska, czy nie. Jak nie, to jęczą. Jak tak, to i tak nie zagrają, więc są nieważni.
そこで別人だとは思わないわけね。よろしい、この師匠の手貸してあげましょう。
O. Ej, chwila. Nie wsłuchałem się wcześniej, co on mówi. O. Teraz tak słucham, to jest command spell. No mówi, with the power of command spell i coś tam. Czyli to jest master. Czyli to był master, a patrząc na to, jak wygląda, to chyba wiemy, czyj to jest master. Patrząc, jak wygląda jego command spell. To jest ten, no. No. No, Aryman. Master Aryman, Pog. I najpewniej jego serwantem jest Żalter. Zajebiście. Ten system walki nie wygląda jak normalna gra z Omega Force'u. Ja to przypominam, to jest Omega Force. Ich system walki polega na tym, że masz 30 przeciwników na ekranie i klikasz X-a, aż nie padną. A tu są jakieś ataki, których się unika. What the fuck?
見せてやれ。
フラムヘイエトランチェ
宮本伊織マスターの一人として今は不足
O, nowa dziewczynka spotted. Co się tu dzieje? No, mamy Erecheian. Nie Erecheian. Sengoku dzieje się na końcówce Erecheian, co nie? No to jest Erecheian. Krótko przed erą Edo. Czy może to już jest era Edo? Nie mam pojęcia. I mamy wojnę o Grala. Czyli to będzie coś w stylu Heian Kyo. Bez Kaldei. Ej, to jest ten gość, który był pokazany na poprzednim zwiastunie.
君は弱き者なのだ英霊に比べれば
俺の本分は剣士だよ。どれほど弱かろうともな。
あんたは
O. Master.
あんたはマスターにな
Jakaś Oiran. A za nią stoi chłopiec. Już widziałem dość fajną teorię na internetach, że to jest Samson. Jedyną poszlaką jest to, że jest bardzo duży i ma bardzo długie włosy. Ale to by bardzo pasowało. Przyzwanie Avengera powinno być niemożliwe. Wytłumacz w takim razie, jak Ainsbernowie przywołali Avengera w trakcie trzeciej wojny o Grala. W Fuyuki.
故に自らこの義を抜けることはできない
お前にはきっと俺と同じものが見えている。
Ekstraklasy są SSR-kami. IRL SSR-kami.
そう感じた。
Kto to może być? To jest Master, więc no... Z jednej strony Master wcale nie musi być postacią historyczną, z drugiej strony to jest początek ery Edo, więc to mogą być postacie historyczne. Jest chińska postać. Jestem prawie pewien, że Saberem Protaga jest Chińczyk. Tylko nie mam pojęcia, kto to może być. Cao Pi? Chuj, kurwa, to jest Cao, który jest tym... który jest Shota chłopcem. Zobaczyć w sumie, jak wyglądał ten Zhuge Liang, który nie jest pseudoserwantem, też by było cool. Co Capi? No on.
私はこういう
Długa ręka.
私はこういう時の長女にして
Wróć się. Jakaś wężowata bestia. To mi coś przypomina. Tylko nie wiem, czy gdzieś w jakiejś grze już była taka postać wyglądająca wężowato, czy co? To może być ktokolwiek. Na przykład stary Mochizuki.
時計塔の魔術師ドロテアよ
A ona mówi, że ma na imię Dorotea. Tylko Czy my widzimy jej ręce? Bardzo chciałbym zobaczyć, czy widzę ręce. Jeszcze trochę. Nie, nie widzimy rąk. Dupki jedne ukryły ręce. Nie wygląda jak master, ale z drugiej strony... to czemu nie? Widzimy ręce, ale nie z tej strony, z której bym chciał. Fuck. Symbole na nogach nie wyglądają zagranicznie. Jak daleko cofnij? Tu? Nie, oni specjalnie zrobili to tak, żeby nie było widać wierzchu ręki. Jadę klatka po klatce. A? Okej, coś tam widać. Tylko czy to jest cień od kłykci, czy to jest część command spella? To już zostaje w ramach domysłu. Okej, tutaj zniknęło. Więc to jednak był chyba cień. Nieważne, nazywa się Dorotea. A przynajmniej tak na siebie mówi. O! To jest postać, która zniknęła. Po prawej czy lewej? To jest dobre pytanie. To chyba zależy, kto pisze. Jest jakiś archer. Samir. Samir w jakiejś dobrej... Samir w jakiejś dobrej grze jest. Zarąbiście. Jeżeli też by jej podkładała głoska na Hanazała, to by byłoby zabawnie. Bo ona wygląda jak Samir. Okej, był Orochi. Orochi nie ma lekko. O, był ten Master Jalter. Miłej obrony, czy jak to tam się mówi. Śmieszny ziomek. Look at him go. Czym on walczy? To nie jest katana. Tu jest ręka? Czy tu? Jest chyba jakaś duża pała. Tu się dzieją akcje w stylu tego Buchigire. O. Fajnie było znaleźć tą nową Sakurę. No i Jalter, patrzcie to. No to już wygląda jak Muso. I wychodzi za jakąś chwilę. 3 miesiące. Jeszcze tylko gdyby nie kosztowało w chuj, to by było fajnie. Ale niestety pewnie będzie kosztować w cholerę. Parę rzeczy. Pierwsza i najważniejsza. Używają muzyki z FGO. To jest muzyka z Shimosy. Co może oznaczać, że to jest po prostu oficjalna filmka Musashi. Tak jak muzyka z czwartych świąt stała się oficjalną filmką Kuku i leciała potem na przykład jak pojawiła się w Babilonii w animu. Będzie Season Pass. Razy 3. Zajebiście, kurwa. No, to są nazwiska wypisane z Cloverworks jako autorzy openingu. Hop od mangi Shimosy ma być superwajzorem od designów. Oczywiście Type Moon, Nasu i Takeuchi są też wpisani jako superwajzorzy. Za dużo nie znaczy. No. Najbardziej mnie interesuje system walki, bo to nie wygląda jak normalna gra tych Omega Force'u. System walki wygląda troszeczkę zbyt fajnie jak na nich.
俺の本分は剣士だよ。
Bo to jest Koei Tecmo, ale to nie są ludzie, którzy robili Nioh. To już widziałem na internetach super optymizm, że Dark Soulsy w świecie Fate'ów. To nie są ludzie od Nioh. Oni mogą tam być w tej samej firmie, może jakiś jest małe te przemieszanie pracowników, ale Koei Tecmo jest wydawcą, a nie producentem. No. To tak czy inaczej. To są 3 miesiące jeszcze do tego. Spróbujmy przejść Avalon le Fae, zanim to nastanie. Byłoby bardzo fajnie, bo mam nagrane odcinki do drugiego. Czyli tak 1,5 tygodnia. No w sumie Hama nie dostała jeszcze swojego Redemption Story, takiego prawdziwego. Chyba że potem w Summer, ale nie mam pojęcia. Dzisiaj. W tym roku się dowiemy. Intro. Ale drogi wysoki sądzie, ja już grałem intro. Jak tam bandelia kuzyna Gogu? No leży. A, Mezmeryna jest tutaj. Ha, i Percival też jest. Pytanie, czy nie? Nie. O nie, zniknął ten śmieszny baner, żeby wrócić za miesiąc. Znaczy main character, lead character, co najwyżej. Main character to jest Protak i Mashu. To jest tak jakby powiedzieć, że tak, że Kiara była main charakterem Oku. Nie do końca. Multik na Percivalu. Ile ja mam kwarcu? Trochę, co nie? No niby można. Żeby było śmiesznie. Kurna. Prawie tego nie przeżyłem. Był loading, wiecie co to znaczy? Absolutnie nic, bo loading jest za każdym razem na pierwszym. I questik wykonany. O Jezu, ale reaguje. To od tej temperatury. Okej, jest minimalka. Przez i no, jak ktoś lubi robić 10-godzinne rany tych challenge questów, a potem je obcinać tylko do tego jednego, który się udał, to ja. Chociaż jest to bardzo zabawny strat na Kagekiyo. To chyba dopiero trzecia. To jest przydatne CI. Wolałbym Men That Wished for Salvation wymaksować. Bo jest jednak troszeczkę lepsze. No, to w takim razie nigdy więcej. Ja się na tych wszystkich Fairy Nightach zemszczę w trakcie GSSR-ki. No nie wiem, czy widzieliście, ale GSSR-ka wygląda bardzo zabawnie. Jeszcze wcześniej. Tu. Wait a fucking minute. To nie jest to. To jest prekampania. Tu jest to Anniversaro. To jest... A wejdzie codzienna płatna gacza za jednego kwarca. A, jest Lucky Bug. Dobra, no, są takie fajne banerki. Jak ten. I są tam też Fahrenheity. Nie ma tu meluzyny. Zabawne. Bardzo zabawne. Ej, dlaczego Kastoria jest w tym banerze? Kastoria powinna być w zeszłym roku. No, jest tu parę fajnych banerków. Na przykład baner na Gilgamesza. Albo baner na Hijikatę. No. Z Taigą zestawia, jak żeby inaczej. Bo w tym roku będzie tak, że mamy SSR-kę i SR-kę gwarantowaną. Więc jest duża szansa, że przyjdzie pan Storm that is approaching. Jak się zaroluje albo na tego banera. I on będzie wtedy bardzo provoking. Dark Clothes in Isolation. Szlak, zapomniałem wziąć tych. No. Tabletków na ból dupy. No, rolujecie sobie na Toshizo i macie split gacze między Krzysztofem Kogutem a Taigą. Gdzie ona jest jeszcze? Bo ona powinna być w sumie na prawie wszystkich banerach, a nie jest. Nie mam pojęcia, jak są dzielone te erki. Jest tylko tutaj na banerze ekstraklasowym, banerze kawaleryjskim i banerze rycerskim z 2017. Ten baner jest fajny, gdyby nie to, że wszystkich w sumie mam, to bym powiedział, że fajny. Bo to na serio są fajne postaci. Ten jest okej. Dość specyficzny, albo dostajesz unga bunga, rozwalam wszystko, albo dostajesz dość specyficzne postaci. Z czego w sumie druga też jest unga bunga, rozwalam wszystko, więc masz split banner między dwoma typami. A tu jest Melużyna. Dlatego jej tutaj nie widziałem. Trochę dziwne, że jest rozdział na roczniki, do tego jeszcze rozdział na klasy. No ale okej. No, nie mogę się doczekać, aż mnie spuknie ten Percival. Ja się znowu będę dziwił, dlaczego to jest Percival, skoro on jest 3-gwiazdkowy. A potem gra mi wytłumaczy, że on wcale nie jest 3-gwiazdkowy. No jak masz tylko Karen, to jest duża szansa, że dostaniesz jedną z pozostałych postaci, a one są całkiem fajne, bo tam jest Kastoria. Ej, nie masz Kastorii? Masz Kastorię. NP2 Kastoria wcale nie jest taka bezużyteczna. Naprawdę. Co jej tam się podnosi? Atak buff. Podnosi jej się razem z levelem. O bardzo potężne 10%. Dobra, akt drugi, intro. Akt drugi ma 15 chapterów. No to jakbyście się zastanawiali, na którym banerze rolować, to Nemo Marine właśnie wam wytłumaczył. Extra, extra, extra from the deck. Da Vinci's Typhoon is back. Tyfon. Co? Tyfon? The fuck. Ja cały czas jestem pewien, że tym serwantem z trzeciego Ordeal Cola jest Tyfon. Ta dziewczynka. Thanks, Marine. Let Typhon rest up in her cage until we are done writing our response. Scans for hazardous substances and contaminants are clear. It's a report from Da Vinci. Director music, Holmes, if you would. Shinzo Akali. Cool. Zwłaszcza, że i Kali i Durga były już wcześniej teasowane. Very well, let's take a look. I see. Oho, fascinating. Omoshiroi. Heads of the fairy clans, calamities, a mysterious fairy horse who goes by Red Rabbit. Yes, this report has proven to be yet another scintillating array of tidbits. Care to read it yourself, Gordolf? Yes, of course. I am Kaldia's director after all. It's my job to stay abreast of all of our latest developments. If you will all pipe down, Captain, Marines, and put ma być ten, Munier, tak? Potaufe, I will read it out loud so you can follow along. Alright, to start off, let's go over what we know about Fairy Britain thus far. Ale panie dyrektorze, my wiemy, to było w zeszłym tygodniu. Cicho tam. Co sądzę o tym? No to co mówiłem, nic, bo i tak pewnie nie będę oglądał, ale wygląda troszeczkę jak historia Ushiwa Kamaru. Czyli wysyłamy gówniarza na ark treningowy, wraca jako SSR zajebisty ziomek i się toczy fabuła. Znaczy, chyba za dużo wymagam od tej bajki, żeby tam była fabuła. Fairy Britain, aka the Sixth Lostbelt, is a dangerous place where no electronic devices can function. Marcisław, Kaldia's resident master and special investigations officer, his exclusive servant Mashkirialite, exclusive. Our technical advisor, Leonardo da Vinci, and Tristan, a servant who was summoned out of nowhere, all set foot on Britain together. However, upon entering the Fae domain, known as the Nameless Woods, they forgot their own names and memories, and ended up separated. Marcisław awoke in the village of Cornwall, where he made contact with a local fairy, Artoria Caster, who would come to aid Caldia in our mission. Thanks to her and Tristan, Marcisław escaped from the Nameless Woods, where he then met another collaborator by the name of Oberon, the Fairy King. Oberon the Based, and began his investigation in earnest. After reuniting with Da Vinci, Marcisław began gathering information on Fairy Britain with a focus on anything that might lead him to Mashkirialite. This Lostbelt's king is Morgan, a fairy who has been ruling for the past 2000 years. The fairies who populate it are divided into 6 clans, and they also control the human population. There are creatures known as Moors, who are the fairies' natural predators. There are also fairy knights, fairy knights who possess the names of heroic spirits from proper human history. There are calamities that occur every 100 years and great calamities that occur every 1000 years. And there is a figure called the Child of Prophecy who is said to be the one who will defeat Morgan. After undertaking a pilgrimage to ring 6 bells kept by each heads of the 6 clans, she will then go on to defeat Morgan and become the true king of Britain. Naturally, as you can imagine, Marcisław would never let her do something like that on her own. So he proposed a partnership with Artoria Caster without even waiting for my orders. So now we are obliged to lend the Child of Prophecy our full support in order to defeat our common enemy, Morgan. In the time since our last report, Marcisław's team met with Aurora, the head of the Wind Clan, had a run-in with Fairy Knight Gawain at a ranch for keeping humans. W sumie coś muszę pokazać. Więc uwaga. Tak, żeby pokazać, że to, że Saori Hayami gdzieś jest w jakiejś bajce, to wcale nie jest nic specjalnego. No tutaj proszę bardzo, Utaware Rumono. Wszystko, co musieliście wiedzieć. Jako protag w Meido Ayashi. A nagrał Ozaki Tsuki. Aha. Coś tu śmiesznego widziałem. No, w Lupinie Zero grała tą prototypową nieważne. Uzaki Tsuki to jest matka Uzaki z anime o Uzaki. A grała nekromantkę w Konohira. A że aktorka, no Saori Hayami. No, to są tylko z tego roku. Tego jest w chuj. To nie jest nic specjalnego. No, w Legend of Mana była. Grała Tom, no. No Tom. Vector się odezwała jakkolwiek w Dolls Frontline? Kiedy? Jestem prawie pewien, że niektóre z tych bajek postaci są podpisane tylko dlatego, że były w poprzednim sezonie i nikt nie wie, czy będą w kolejnym. No, ale bo były, to też je wpiszemy. O, Quantumon. Tego nie zauważyłem. W Maojo grała matkę protaszki. I też narratora. I robiła dźwięki dla tych miśków. Kogo grała w Tsugumomo? Nawet ta postać nie ma obrazka, więc nie mam pojęcia, ale ktoś ją ma w Favorites. No tak, potrzebujecie jakąś bajkę z Saori Hayami, no to tu macie całą listę. Fought Fairy Knight Tristan at an auction house, where they also rescued Senji Muramasa, a servant disciple of the foreign god. Met with Muriel, the head of the Wing clan, encountered Koyanskaya in yet another new outfit. Nawet gra to zauważy. And had another local fairy by the name of Garrett and a mysterious fae horse called Red Rabbit joined their team. After a series of adventures, including a battle against the Drasei in the River of Tears. Drasei to jest miejsce w Elden Ringu. Jakby ktoś potrzebował takiej informacji, to niech zrobi z nią co chce. Marcisław's team finally arrived in the city of Norwich. There, who should they encounter but Mashkirialite, whom the local fairies believed to be the child of prophecy. No matter how many times I reread this part, it still doesn't make sense to me. How did Kirialite come to be known as the child of prophecy? And what is in the world is a Habenian? If only this report could respond to questions. But since it can't, we will just have to use our imaginations to fill in the gaps. Narysuję Habeniana. Narysuj normalnego kitku. I'm guessing Kirialite had her own share of troubles after escaping the Nameless Woods. At one point, she probably ended up saving some people, fairies, up in the northern part of Britain, which probably led them to regard her as a hero. At any rate, the report also says that Marcisław's team made contact with the crypter Peperoncino, who had been laying low in Norwich. After numerous mishaps, the Calamity of Norwich finally appeared. Fortunately, with Chaldea's help, the Child of Prophecy was able to defeat this calamity. However, shortly after Mashkirialite had finally been reunited with Marcisław, she was whisked away to parts unknown by a mysterious phenomenon, separating her from Marcisław once again. But there is no time to grieve this unfortunate turn of events. I'm certain Marcisław would agree. For you see, in a surprising turn of events, he and Artoria were invited to Camelot, home of King Arthur in proper human history, and location of the evil castle in Fairy Britain, by High Queen Morgan herself. The very Morgan who possesses Rongominiat, a powerful spell that could be used to fight the foreign god, and one of our main objectives in coming to the... Pojechał. The very Morgan who possesses Rongominiat, a powerful spell that could be used to fight the foreign god, and one of our main objectives in coming to this Lostbelt in the first place. Now Marcisław, Da Vinci, Artoria, Gareth, Muramasa and Habenian have accepted Morgan's invitation and are setting out for Camelot first thing tomorrow. Słyszycie to? Słyszycie to? To jest właśnie Habenian. And that's all she wrote. Now, do you all feel sufficiently caught up? Yay, we got most of that, thanks. Okay, we are gonna head back to our posts now. Sounds like things are pretty crazy out there again. I hope Mash is okay. Not to worry, Da Vinci's report was quite upbeat, so if nothing else, we can be certain that Mash is safe. The real problem is this water mirror spell of Morgan's. According to the data enclosed along with the report, it would seem that So those dark clouds over in the city of Norwich weren't a calamity pool but one of Morgan's spells. It's hard to believe she was able to remotely control such a powerful spell from over 100 kilometers away. Between this water mirror and Rongominiat, it's clear she's a powerful enemy on par with any of the other Lostbelt kings we've seen. I'm afraid I don't know much about Morgan's legend. Could I ask you to fill me in? I only know her story from proper human history, but if you will settle for that, then sure. Alright, let's start with her general background. According to British myth, she is the good fairy of the lake. And in the legend of King Arthur, she is depicted as an evil witch bent on destroying him. Morgan was the child of the Duke of Tintagel and Lady Grain, and later became King Arthur's half-sister after her mother married King Uther. But despite their family ties, she grew jealous of him and began plotting all sorts of wickedness to make his life miserable. Some of their most notable misdeeds include stealing the sacred sword scabbard and seducing Lancelot. But the worst thing she did was trick King Arthur into impregnating her with Mordred, who she later sent to join the Round Table. There were a lot of factors leading to the downfall of King Arthur's kingdom, but Morgan's definitely the one who tipped it over the edge. Paradoxically, there are also some who believe another side of Morgan was devoted protecting King Arthur. Those theories claim that Morgan and Vivian, the Lady of the Lake who gave King Arthur the sacred sword and protected him in death, are in fact the same person. Sounds like her lust for power led her to become a femme fatale who ruined an entire nation. So what's the Magecraft towards consensus on her? There must be more to her story than what's commonly known. Indeed, there is. I went through our database myself after receiving our technical advisor's first report. There was one bombshell right out of the gate, and it related to her birth. It turns out Morgan was not actually the Duke of Tintagel's daughter, that was only a pretense. She was actually the child of Lady Grain and King Uther, the rightful king of Britain. More stunning still, Morgan was never human. Instead, she was a Fae child, an offspring of the Isle of Britain, just like Vortigern, the cowardly king. Wróciliśmy. But apparently Morgan kept that fact secret and pretended to be merely a normal human child. Still, with King Uther as her father and in the absence of a rightful heir, she would have been next in line for the throne. But then a rightful heir did appear. Once Artoria, King Arthur was accepted by the Sacred Sword and unified the lords of Britain under her leadership, Morgan stopped hiding her mystics, that is, the power over Fae nature, and started poisoning Camelot every chance she could. She told herself, Artoria is nothing more than a human king, made so by other humans. I'm Britain's true king, I alone deserve to inherit its mystics. This conviction of hers grew to the point that she eventually came to despise her father, King Uther, her sister, Artoria, and every human who refused to obey her, It was a major factor in her decision to try to destroy Britain. Why did King Arthur's once noble older sister Morgan became Camelot's greatest enemy in her later years? Apparently that's the answer. Yep, even after she had settled in as Queen of Orkney, she still plotted Camelot's downfall from afar. Four of knights of the Round Table, Gawain, Geheris, Gareth and Agravain, were Morgan's children. Mordred was, well, I don't know if I should say this without them here, but some experts think they were actually a homunculus Morgan created, or maybe a clone of King Arthur. No to jest chyba konsensus lorowy. Particulars like that aside, it sounds pretty clear that she was an enemy of King Arthur. And a witch who tried to destroy all of Britain. So what about the supposed side of her that was focused on keeping King Arthur safe? An excellent question, Captain. There are numerous Arthurian legends and each of them describes Morgan differently. One claims she was King Arthur's noble sister, another claims she was the Lady of the Lake, yet another claims she had been a goddess of Britain since ancient times. Needless to say, each claim would seem to rule the others out as a possibility. Common sense would dictate that one of these theories is correct, and the others refer to someone else entirely. Mam nadzieję, że nie mają zamiaru synkratyzować Morgan z Morrigan, bo nie. Ja nie chcę, ja odmawiam. But I believe that they are, in fact, all true, and that Morgan was possessed of three aspects. Given that she was born under supernatural circumstances, I surmise that her human side, her fairy side, and the part of her that was Britain's own avatar all existed simultaneously. But as three parts of herself are essentially irreconcilable within a single entity, I suspect each of these aspects became an independent being. One was her human side, Arthuria's kind older sister Morgan. Another was her fairy side, Vivian, the Lady of the Lake. And the third was the avatar of Britain, Morgan le Fae. If we assume that to be the case, everything makes sense. Nie. The king of the Knights of the Round Table then did not bring her to justice because she was both evil and good. Now I see. Okay, I am convinced. But hang on, isn't Vivian another name for Nimue, the fairy who imprisoned Merlin? Yes, it is. Morgan is both King Arthur's rival and Merlin's greatest enemy. Though Merlin was the one who taught Vivian magecraft, her infatuation with him eventually led her despising him and ultimately sealing him away. To do so, she employed a great banded field in the form of a sarcophagus spell inscribed with the words, "Only those free of sin may pass." As an incubus, not even Merlin could escape it. It was a spell from the Age of Gods known as Garden, which could only be used by the avatar of a mystic. While it's still unclear how much this Lostbelt's Morgan has in common with Morgan from proper human history, it would seem prudent to assume that she has more weapons at her disposal than Rongominiad alone. First it's the Lion King in Jerusalem, now it's Morgan in Fairy Britain, huh? I swear, why are we always getting mixed up with Arthurian legends? I mean, I can understand it in this case since we are in Britain now and all, but still. I mean, what are we gonna do if Albion shows up next? I don't think even the Stormborder would have a chance. Oh, foreshadowing. Albion? That is what this isle was known as in ancient times, before it came to be called Britain. Though of course that name also refers to something else in the Magecraft world. Chodzi o olbrzyma czy o smoka? There it refers to the last pure-blooded dragon, Albion. An extinct phantasmal who remained on the Isle of Britain even as the Age of Gods came to an end. The creatures we call dragons today are simply animals who happened to acquire some of the dragon genes left behind by the Dragon King, who went over to the reverse side of the world and ended up adopting the dragon's way of life while preserving their own. With the exception of Albion's corpse, not a single pure-blooded dragon is left on this entire planet. Yes, that is what they say in the clock tower, isn't it? Quite a romantic notion, but that is all it is, and Albion is but one in a long list of fairy tales. More importantly, it's now been 28 days since we began this mission. Thanks to the concentrated fruit essences our technical advisor has been sending along with her reports, we now have magical energy to spare, which would let us remain here past our initial 50-day estimate. Ile już było tych dni? 28. Perhaps we should advise them to stop by the border? True, maybe we should. Ideally, I was hoping to complete this mission within 30 days, but that's clearly not going to happen. That said, we still don't know exactly when the collapse is going to begin, so we shouldn't be too quick to change our time limit. If we stick to our initial plan, we still have 17 days left to complete the mission. Do you think Marcisław's team can pull it off in that time frame, Holmes? Well, according to Da Vinci's report, it would seem the circumstances are nearly all in place. If their meeting with High Queen Morgan ends peacefully and she proves willing to share information about Rongominiad with them, they can then devote the rest of their time to investigating the collapse. And if it doesn't end peacefully, now that Chaldea has thrown their lot in with the Child of Prophecy, war is all but inevitable. We already know the exact extent of Fairy Britain's military power. If Artoria is able to complete her pilgrimage and muster a significant anti-Queen force, the battle for Camelot will be decided in a single day. I suspect that battle will take place in 16 days at the earliest, just barely within our deadline. pieniądz. Przecież kurwa macie. Raz, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Section 10. Camelot. A inaczej wyglądał ten obrazek od aktu drugiego. Intra. I can hear people singing the Child of Prophecy song in the streets. I shall speak now of a future, of the end of the Isle of Mystics, which came to be known as Fairyland. Let the innocent... Przecież to jest po saksońsku. Fairyland to jest tak bardzo saksońskie, jak tylko może być. Let the innocent return. Here stands the queen's unknowable castle. It falls like rain, like ash. It vanishes like snow, like lies. Our desires languish, deferred. Even now we dance in the palm of the queen's hand. We require now only a little more patience. After 2000 years, the dawn shall bring the child who will be our salvation. She shall be the child who saves the world, who binds both peoples together. Even if her light begins as but an ember, even should no one see it, she will become as a flame to draw moths. A city of iron, a sea of soot. When the calamity recedes, her pilgrimage begins. Chosen by the staff of selection, the Savior, guarded by travelers from afar, shall reach the throne. The true king shall arrive at the throne. Accept now this bloodied crown. Ring, ring like raging thunder, like whipping flame, let us hearken to the 6 bells ringing. Blaze the path of the true king. Ere the red calamity catches us, ere the black calamity devours us. Indolent and derelict though we may be, we are the scions of the free Fae. Never have we wished for anything, but still we desire a shining future. There is no mention of Norwich being destroyed in that song. So why did Oberon say there was nothing anyone could do to stop its destruction? I wonder, does he know more of the song than everyone else? To znaczy ear. Aha, szekspiriańsko na before. I do. As a matter of fact, the prophecy actually has 18 verses in total. Most fairies are only familiar with the 14 we just heard, but there are actually 4 more. I know it. Why didn't you tell us this sooner, Oberon? I just forgot to mention it, okay? I'm sorry. Can we please drop it? I'm guessing you had a reason you couldn't tell us? In retrospect, maybe I was being a little overprotective. I'm sorry about that. Alright, I will tell you. These are the other 4 verses of the prophecy, at least as I heard them. Verse 8.5. The harbor shall return to empty shore, but the calamity shall vanish into the distant sky. Verse 9.5. Verse 9.5. The round fortress shall burn, and the bell of water shall appear. Round Fortress. Równie dobrze może być Sheffield. Verse 10.5. Confessed sinners shall make the acquaintance of the guillotine. Verse 12.5. Having fulfilled their role, the child of prophecy shall say farewell to her home. As you can see, these verses are a lot more ominous. That and the fact that they are not very precise for a prophecy might be why they were exist. Case in point, verse 8.5. The harbor shall return to empty shore, but the calamity shall vanish into the distant sky. The harbor is obviously Norwich, and the empty shore part must mean the city was going to be wiped off the coast. So I was steeling myself to lose Norwich even if we were able to repel the calamity, but, well, Norwich didn't fall. Is it because another child of prophecy appeared? Could be. This basically proves that not even Einstein's prophecies are perfect, especially for these 4 verses. So I've decided I'm just not going to worry about them anymore. Now, on a more important note, you guys need to get going soon. Between Artoria, Gareth, Muramasa and Habetrot, I think you should all be safe without me. So I hope you don't mind if I go off on my own again. More information gathering? Partly, yes, but I also just really want to give Spriggan his comeuppance. So I thought I'd stay here and work with the Count to knock him down a peg or 2 until he hits rock bottom. Besides, we could have been reunited with Mash much sooner if he hadn't insisted on keeping the Child of Prophecy in his castle. Don't you think he deserves at least a little punishment for that? I'd say he deserves a lot. Just leave it to me. Bloodshed may not be the Fairy King style, but I can definitely bleed him dry financially. Trochę szkoda, bo wiem, że w tym chapterze pojawi się w końcu jako support. Trochę późno, ale pojawi się. Before we leave, there's something I need to let you all know. Jeszcze późno. Zaraz po tym, jak ten part wyszedł, już się pojawiały filmiki demonstracyjne. Let me guess, Oberon's going off on his own again, right? I had a feeling that he might. Gotcha. Well, I guess we don't all have to stick together all the time. And it's not like he's much help in combat. I'm sure Oberon will be fine on his own, but how come Red Eye isn't here either? He's staying behind too. Technically he's still Aurora's retainer after all. And it wouldn't be good for her if he were seen with us right now. So I'm gonna have him stay here with Oberon and bring the carriage if we need it. I see, that makes sense, but you there, the pink fairy, Habetrot, right? Are you coming with us too? I mean, the way to Camelot is probably pretty dangerous, so... Don't worry about me, I will be fine. Just think of me as a spectator along for the ride. In fact, you should probably be more worried about yourself than me, Garrett. I'm the irreplaceable healer every party needs in combat, and I'm probably stronger than you two. Don't worry, Marcisław, I'm not gonna let you die before you and Marshall are reunited. So feel free to wade into battle all you like. As long as you don't die, I can patch you up with my magic needle, no matter what horrific injuries you sustain. That sounds both very close to and very far from Nightingale's preferred treatment methods. Nightingale? Now that's a nice fairy name, so you already know a nurse as cute as me, huh? Quiet, everyone. Here come the Queen's troops from the main gate. I apologize for our 10-minute delay. I am Fairy Knight Gawain, and these are 30 members of the 1st Royal Knight Morse Extermination Brigade. We are the ones who will be providing you, humans, providing you, honored guests of Camelot, with safe passage. Say something, Artoria. Oh, right. Thanks for taking the trouble to come get us. I don't care if all that bulk will make you cranky on the journey there, but you better treat us with respect, got it? That is the plan, yes. We have readied a carriage for the Child of Prophecy and the Foreign Mage. Your retainers will need to walk. I trust that is all you. You are that scoundrel who tried to assassinate the High Queen. How are you still alive? I saw you fall into the pit. Oh, that? Yeah, Lancelot handed me my ass and tossed me right into the pit. But unfortunately for you, I managed to survive and now I'm the Child of Prophecy's bodyguard. Next time you see Lancelot, tell her not to take her eyes off a servant until their spirit origin's completely gone. What should we do, Lady Gawain? Are we really okay letting this man back into Camelot? What if he tries to assassinate the Queen again? It's alright, if he does, he won't have the element of surprise anymore. I can take him myself. Especially now that the Queen has assured me not to worry if combat damages or destroys the castle. Yeah? Hey, that's great. You barely fit in the place anyway. Should help you move around better. Next time we fight, I'd rather it just be head to head without either of us holding anything back. I guess the Child of Prophecy hasn't something of an eye for talent after all. However much her other retainers suggest otherwise. Fine, you there? Take room in one of the carts for our guests. Make one. The servants can ride with the Foreign Mage. Treating those two as honored guests at least until we reach the castle will help us all move faster. Yes, my lady, right away. Jedno mnie zastanawia. Kto to jest Totorot? Bo Totorot był wspomniany wcześniej, brzmi jak Habetrot. Myślałem, że to jest Habetrot, ale najwyraźniej nie. Bo inni Fairy Knightowie nie rozpoznają Habeniana. We will be taking the western road to Camelot and spend one night at Oxford along the way. We will Then take a detour around the pit towards Camelot. For the next 2 days, our fates shall be intertwined. We will not turn our swords on each other, regardless of what may happen. Do you agree to that, foreign mage? Good, then let us be off. Soldiers, do not let your guard down simply because this is an escort mission. The Calamity's destruction has led to more toxins spreading far and wide across Britain. Eliminate any more you come across immediately upon discovery. I don't want to hear even a peep of discomfort from our guests. O, spory kawał. Fiat, to jest Camelot? Jeżeli to jest Camelot, w sumie ma to sens. Skoro tu jest Londyn, to tu jest Camelot. Tu jest Oxford. Gdzie w takim razie było miasto Ainsel? Którego nazwy zapomniałem. Giant Hall East. O. Ej, dostaniemy coś za tego chaptera. Jakiś prezenciuch zajebisty. Formation Restricted i walczymy z Lancerem. Albo raczej z Lancerami. Well, that's a relief. This carriage rides just as smooth as Red Rabbit's. By the way, Marcisław, are you really ready for this? To meet the Queen, you mean? Well, yeah. What else? Oh man, you are not ruffled at all, are you? I bet you have already been through lots of meetings like this, huh? It's not that, Artoria. Marcisław is just as nervous as you are. He's just had enough experience with situations like this to understand the value of staying calm. Masters need to give orders to and watch out for their servants after all. So, while Marcisław might not be able to fight on the front line himself, he's very good at keeping cool under pressure. Really? So you've met a lot of other kings then? And some goddesses too. So you'd think I'd be used to this sort of thing by now, but nope, not even close. By the way, I heard something interesting about Fairy Knight Gawain back in Norwich. Apparently she was the first fairy to be made a Fairy Knight during the era of the High Queen. About 200 years ago, during year 1800 of the era of the High Queen, there was a huge outbreak of caterpillar moors in central Britain. Caterpillar moors? Morsy mają inne kształty? Myślałem, że wszystkie są takim czarnym frędzlem. That calamity later came to be known as the Caterpillar War, and it was Gawain who put a stop to it. So while it might not have been like the calamity we got rid of in Norwich, she still resolved a calamity just like Artoria did, and that's what led to the Queen recognizing her skill. Surprised? Overcome with newfound respect? No, nothing but Gawain could do about Ej, ona prawie powiedziała to imię, a jak na razie wszyscy, którzy je wymawiali, mieli tak wycięty, wycenzurowany magicznie głos. Nawet ja na nagraniu. No, nothing but Gawain could do would surprise me or make me respect her. That said, I guess this means Morgan's not the only fairy to have dispelled a calamity then. Guess this means I'm even less special than I thought. Oh man, now I'm even more nervous. Oh crap, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you even more nervous. And hey, from what I heard, the Caterpillar War wasn't all that big of a calamity. I mean, the one at Norwich was a once-in-a-millennium great calamity, so it had to be smaller than that. Don't forget, we saved an entire city. You have every right to be proud about that. Yeah, you are right. I mean, Marshal Marcisław might have done most of the heavy lifting. Nieprawda, to był Muramasa i Artoria. But I definitely still contributed, and when it comes to defeating Morse, I can hold my own against any fairy na... Co to kur... More smoke spotted nearby, incoming from 3, 7 and 11 o'clock. Lightning soldiers, prepare your mystic codes. Guards, get into your formations. Marcisław? On it, let's go help. If you are out here, I assume you have no intention of sitting back and letting us do all the fighting. Very well, I would welcome your aid. There are a lot of Moors here, and I would prefer to avoid casualties. Follow me, child of prophecy, foreign mage, make sure you stay close to me. Powinienem chyba zresetować telefon, ale nie chce mi się. Jakiegoś Sabera weźmy, nawet wiem jakiego. Tego co powiedziałem, że nas spuknie za 2 tygodnie. To jest ciekawe, że osobno odpaliła follow weather, bo tutaj jest follow weather. Szlak. Ej, nie wiedziałem, że ono takie coś ma. Że obniża sobie cooldown na skillach. Szkoda, że jest boosterowa. Bo byłoby to bardzo fajne.
私に従え。いいだろう。
負けないぞ。
敵ではない。
突破します。覚悟するがいい。
Ja powinienem chyba go zresetować.
もちろん。
敵ではない。
そう
そこだ。弱い。命令か。いいだろう。
もちろん。覚悟するがいい。突破します。
命令か。
そうこっちのが得意でね。
Nie spojrzałem, że wcześniej, że tam widać miasto w oddali. To jest chyba miasto. Może wieś. Large Moors.
君の道行きを信じよう。さあ行きなさい。
Okej, czyli robimy tak.
王の話をするとしよう。そこは壁もなく城もなく国すらない始まりの空。地の底で輝く原初の星。魂の在りかを見せようか。ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
真の姿を見せてやる。反人類史、何する者ぞ。歪鳥軟弱凶暴なり、我が剣のシミにもならず。
Tyle buffów.
私に従え。強きにそれは
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。いいとも。
命令か。
何？サービスだとも。どうか。
いいだろう。
やります。
Trochę to trwało. O fuck. Co?
久しぶりの運動は応えるね。
Nie zauważyłem, że tam jest Remaining 8. There are still 10 large Moors to contend with. No, more are still coming. We can't handle this many. Those of you without iron weaponry, stand back. Do not engage. Just lure them to one spot so I can burn them all at once. We are trying, but these Moors aren't falling for the decoy. It's almost like they are here for something else this time. Something else? Could it be they are after the Child of Prophecy? You. No need to thank me, we are all fighting the same battle here. Now, what are you gonna do about this? Any seasoned general like you ought to know when it's time to retreat. I hate to admit it, but he's right. I could either abandon the carts and have my soldiers retreat, or I could have the guests go on ahead. No, I am a fairy knight. Retreating from Morst is not an option. But they refuse to cluster in any one spot, so they are clearly being wary of my Galatin. Ej, to ma sens teraz, bo walczyliśmy tylko z pojedynczymi, dużymi morsami, bo nie chciały się zebrać grupowo. Wow, environmental storytelling. They just destroyed the rearmost cart. What do we do, Habenian? Oh man, what good having a fairy knight around if we still have to fight ourselves? She sucks at this. Why would you give massive amounts of literally unbridled firepower to someone who's already crap at holding back? Oh well, what's done is done. No use complaining about it now. I may not much like fighting, but walking all the way to Camelot would be worse. Come on, Garrett, let's go take out the little Moors and leave the big ones to the Fairy Knight. Okay, I will do my best. I've gotten more used to fighting Moors, so... Habenian? Are you seeing this blue streak of light? It's heading straight for us from Camelot. That's the same light I saw at Sheffield. Forget eliminating all of them. Retreat. Keep the carriage and the first cart and abandon the rest. Harry, lightning soldiers, defend the guests. Royal Guard. Retrieve the luggage from the other carts. I will keep the Moors occupied until... What are you doing here, Lancelot? I didn't ask for your help. I don't think you need my help either, but the High Queen commanded me to come. Hostiles detected. Eliminating. Stand back, Gawain. Taking out individual targets is my area. Who's that sassy girl? Avenger. O chuj, Lancelot. Nie ma trzeciego skilla. I w sumie czy supporty fabularne dostają jakiekolwiek append skille? Byłoby zabawne. Increase attack, apply incoming damage cut, and increase max HP. Dragon Heart. Już teraz mówią, że ma Dragon Heart? Peridancer. No to akurat pod meluzynę, ale to pierwsze to jest pod to drugie ID. Nie ma głosu, czy co? Dziwne. Sassy Child. Tak. Aż bym zaczął od początku, bo widzę, że troszeczkę inaczej gra chciała, żebym to zrobił. Miałem zacząć od najmniejszego i dostawać buffy co turę. Wygrańsko. Dziwne, że było bez głosu. Aż się zastanawiam, czy to czasem nie jest bug, który kiedyś się dział i nagle się pojawił z powrotem. Chyba nie, bo nawet nie było podpisanych dialogów, więc raczej po prostu nie miała głosu. She's like a fighter playing in a fairy form. All moors have been destroyed. Brilliant work, Lady Lancelot. So this is what they mean when they call you the undefeated Dragon Fairy, the most beautiful fairy knight in all of Britain. Okej, zapisać Brytania jest into loli. I still can't believe you took out so many of those large moors so easily. No ale w sumie patrząc z drugiej strony mamy tylko 3 Fairy Knightów, z czego jeden jest tylko dla wyrafinowanego gustu, a drugi Fairy Knight jest pierdolnięty. No to zostaje tylko tak zwany ten trzeci. There, I eliminated the Moors, just like the High Queen told me to. I will let you handle the escort from here, Gawain. What was she? Some kind of VTOL aircraft? As if you were even capable of handling an escort mission. Don't just stand there, you fools. Start fixing the wrecked cart. If it is the best you lot can do on the first day of the mission, I shudder to think of how you will fare in the days ahead. And you can forget about resting in Oxford. I want a report from each and every one of you later on how this situation could have been prevented. Yes, milady. My deepest apologies, Lady Gawain. Pathetic. I would have thought all of you together would be able to defeat at least one or two of the large Moors. I suppose this just goes to show how overly reliant you've become of us fairy knights. It seems I will need to start re-educating the fairy soldiers like I'm doing with the humans. Oh, my apologies. I appreciate your help. Sorry again, I never did ask your name, did I? I wasn't authorized to do so. But now that you have aided us in a dangerous predicament, that is no excuse. I am Gawain. What is your name, foreign mage? I'm Marcisław. Well met, Marcisław. I appreciate your obvious hostility towards me. You have got spirit, I like that, since we will be enemies later. Alright, let's get this escort mission back on track. Oh, and I'd advise you to watch what you say in the carriage. I could easily overhear you, depending on which way the wind is blowing. Man, I thought we were going to be put up in a nice inn at Oxford. I can't believe we are camping out again. Alright, if we can't have a nice accommodations, at least we can still have nice food. I'm sorry we don't have enough to share with the royal guards, but I say we have the cakes the court gave us now. Oh, it looks like mine's called a cheesecake. What's your called, Arturia? Mine says Swiss roll. Oh wow, it's shaped like a log. This should make it much easier to eat. That's so thoughtful of the court. You proper human history people are all so considerate. I guess you could say that. Sweet yum yokan? How the hell did he manage to make this here? Some tea would go real nice with this. I think I will go down to that river and fetch some water. Nom nom nom. What was this called again? Chiffon cake? Ja to kojarzę, ale skąd? Chiffon. A, tak się po angielszowemu mówi na babkę. So this is what happiness itself tastes like. I had no idea they had so many kinds of sweets these days. Oh yeah, it seems even Fairy Britain has been developing a bunch of cake recipes. Back in Salisbury I heard about Woodwoose's restaurant chain in the south and Edinburgh's gourmet desserts in the north. But it sounds like cheesecake's the one kind that never caught on. I wonder why. Really? But it's so yummy. It does make me little thirsty though. It's because a big shot up north absolutely despises cheesecake. Ciekawe dlaczego. She always says cheese has no place in dessert and that it has to be chocolate or nothing. Though of course for fairies from the south like me, chocolate is such a luxury I don't even know what it tastes like. It costs so many more pounds that low-level fairies can basically never afford it. You poor little thing. What is it, Marcisław? I'm gonna go make a little piece of rain. Do you have a custom of eating sweets after a meal here? I don't usually care for sweets. If I'm going to eat something cooked, I'd rather have meat. So no, I won't accept that. But I can see you have something to discuss. Go on then, have a seat. You want to talk to me about Lancelot, right? Very well then, ask me anything you wish to. Actually, I wanted to ask about you. O nie, harem protagonist się odpala. I see, you are trying to figure out my true name. Pointless, but I can at least respect your willingness to try anything you can. Come to think of it, I still haven't properly thanked you for your help earlier today, have I? Come, sit. If you wish to talk, I can indulge you for a short while. I manifested in Britain 400 years ago. I was meant to be the next generation, the successor of an upper-class funk clan fairy in Norwich. Except that I didn't look anything like my predecessor. Even though I'm a funk clan fairy, I was born resembling a wind clan one. No, if anything, I looked like a human. Some suspected I might be a changeling. Others said I was a curse from the battle against the Moors that took place 600 years ago. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know the truth, and I don't care either. I earned the honor of becoming a fairy knight when I ended the Caterpillar War. Up until that point, the title of fairy knight had been sealed away for all 1800 years of the High Queen's reign. In case you don't know, the fairy knight title originally belonged to the retainers of Ask, who was said to be Britain's savior in the Fae era. The first fairy knight was called... I'm sorry, I actually can't remember their name. Pamiętam, Totorot. At any rate, they met their end in Orkney. After that, the Queen forbade the naming of more fairy knights. But she decided to revoke her own seal to exterminate the endlessly respawning caterpillars. Thus I was gifted the name of Sir Gawain, which is said to be the name of a knight of the Round Table of a foreign land, and gained the means to strengthen my horn. My Galatine, I believe you call it a noble phantasm? While I'm confined, it is every bit the equal of Sir Gawain's original. I'm just as confident, a nie confined. Debilu. I'm just as confident that I can't hold a candle to the real Sir Gawain, the Knight of the Round Table from proper human history. That sounds pretty significant. I didn't think she would have so much respect for the Knights of the Round Table. But never mind, I shouldn't be talking about the Round Table. I'm told it's creepy when I do so, for some reason. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh, I know. Let's talk about the war against the Moors. This war took place a millennium ago, along with one of the great calamities during the 1000th year of the era of the High Queen. It was a time when the Moors had a king and an army, and waged war against the High Queen and 5 of the 6 clans. Apparently this king was something of an odd duck. He never attacked fairies or killed humans. All he cared was fire and lightning. Kto to mógł być? Lord Hearn? He would gleefully destroy anything, and then only for the joy of watching it burn. He reduced cities and forests to cinders, raised the ground before him, and summoned rain clouds just to hear their thunder. A może Erkling? Some fairies called him the Storm King, at least until the High Queen forbade anyone from speaking that name. Erlknig idzie? Tak się to jakoś wymawia? To będzie on. Jeden z przywódców Dzikiego Gonu. The war against the Moors king lasted for decades until finally the Fang clan brought it to an end. Wood was a fairy who had recently succeeded the previous head of the Fang clan. At the time was the one who dealt the final blow. And so the great calamity, the king of the Moors, who feasted on magical energy, was defeated before the Fang clan. However, it's said that with his dying breath the king cast a curse upon the Fang clan. What kind of curse? The fairy-eating black dogs. It was only after the king of the Moors vanished that the black dogs began to roam fairy Britain. However, they also eat Moors, so they are not just harmful. There are even some squads who train black dogs and use them in Moors hunts. Mine is one of them, in fact. Have you ever heard the epitaph the Black Dog Duchess? It refers to me. Even now that I've become a fairy knight, I'm still called a black dog. Patrzę na tą twarz i ona wygląda tak śmiesznie. To się nazywa Dojagao. I don't blame them though. After all, I eat everything, including fairies and humans. Huh? Not in the battle, right? Oh, now you are scared of me? So you had no idea you were trying to get information of a woman feared throughout fairy Britain as a monster? Well, worry not, I would never eat you. I only consume the strong. Cool. I'm unusual for a fairy. What I eat makes me stronger. In fact, I can inherit any unusual powers or abilities the fairies I eat may possess, though with limits on capacity and compatibility. Gdzie są teraz ludzie, którzy by powiedzieli: ho, to jak w slojmie. And right now I'm still full on foul weather, the great Earth Clan Fairy. I needed his sacrament for the Caterpillar War, it was crucial. But he had holed up in his fortress in Cornwall and refused to come out. So I challenged him to a duel, defeated him and devoured him. Alright, I think that's enough time spent relaxing after dinner. Go back to your camp now. I thought you would be more the strong and silent type, but I'm glad I was wrong. I'm used to talking with humans. In fact, my current husband is human. Really? Well, I say he's my husband, but he's neither a romantic partner nor a future meal. Then what? He's just a guest I'm putting up in my mansion while he recuperates. Still, you do remind me of him in both your lack of fear and your innocent curiosity. Alright, back to your camp now. My soldiers and I will take turns keeping watch. Don't stay up too late. We will be setting out early tomorrow morning. Kurwa, to się nie kończy. To ma 7 strzałków, ale druga się nie chce skończyć. Trzecia. Forgive us, no more prayers, close your eyes. There's not much fun time left, the veil has fallen, extinguish the light. Today is ending, farewell, this day too will end forever. Forgive us our sins. It's too late to do anything now, but make sure everything is cleaned up. It's that song again. Uhu, lecimy coraz szybciej. Strzałka 4, no battle. Let's fucking go! I kuzotto mojo. 2 days after leaving Norwich, day 30 in Fairy Britain. So that's Fairy Britain's Camelot. I've never seen it from other side of the pit before. It's definitely impressive, isn't it? So that part we were seeing from Oxford must have only been the back of the castle. No, lepsze niż w Jerozolimie, bo tam Camelot to był tylko mur wewnętrzny. A tutaj, proszę bardzo, jest cywilizacja. Zobacz, Halinka, jak to się rozbudowało. I thought it looked more like a wall than a castle, but now it looks more properly royal. It's got one urban area around the main gate and another one inside the ramparts. I'm guessing that's to separate the general populace from the upper crust? Don't let the gate fool you, the side facing the pit is actually the castle front. Really? So that big fancy gate is actually the back gate? Oh no, that's the main gate. Sorry for confusing you, Garrett. There's no way into the castle from the pit. You've gotta go through the gate to get inside. What about fairies who can fly? Couldn't they just zip inside? Nah, it ain't that simple. There's a magecraft barrier around the front of the castle, the side facing the pit. If you ever fall in there yourself, you will see there's a ton of gun posts all along Camelot's wall. And you can't usually put cannons behind a castle, right? So we can be pretty sure the side facing the pit's front. So if Morgan's not worried about an attack from the main gate, then... Boi się, że coś wyjdzie ze śmietnika. W sumie jakbym ja miał taki śmietnik, też bym się bał. Marcisław! Gawain's glaring at something up north. Whatever it is, she's obviously upset about it. You are friends now, right? Go on, ask her what is it. Okay, she's being really insistent about this. What is it, Marcisław? Are you suddenly having second thoughts about entering Camelot? It's not that? You are wondering what's got me so upset. Can't you see for yourself? That's Noknarea's army up north. Noknarea? Where? I don't see her anywhere. Alright, you are too short, aren't you? What a shame. Well, no matter. It's none of your concern anyway. Are you kidding? Of course it is. Come on, Marcisław, let me stand on your shoulders. Red Rabbit isn't here now, so you will have to do. Oh there, hang on. Before you go to all the trouble, how about using one of my handy-dandy gadgets first? Here, a spyglass. This will let you see at least as far as Gawain can. Now take a look at those plains up north and you will see some really intense glares pointed this way. Ah. Oh wow, I can see super far with this, thanks Da Vinci. Try turning the dial on the side, it's set to 5 kilometers right now. But if you crank it to the 4th notch, you can set it to 20 kilometers. There, see them? There's a ton of fairies gathered in those plains. I can't see shit. Powiedziałbym, że to wygląda jak Sheffield, ale no tak, Sheffield jest na północy. Relatywnie. That must be the Northern army of that other queen we've been hearing so much about, Noknarea of the King clan. That's her army? It's not just Fang and Earth clan fairies. There are also lots of soldiers with masks. Are those giants? There are giants there? That's right, Noknarea's rule bestows power and wealth upon any who swear fealty to her. It's the opposite of Gloucester and Murian. However, that effect only works when Noknarea herself is nearby. I see, so if she wants her troops to be effective, she can't be far from them. Go on, Marcisław, try looking a little further ahead. See that huge carriage? The one that kind of looks like a small fortress? There's a fairy standing on top of it looking down at us from up there. And even though this is your first time seeing her, I think you will agree that there's no mistaking who this Northern Queen is. Let me see. O! Widzę goleń. I dupę. Hehe, dupa. Well, that's definitely a very Celtic bodysuit. Myślałem, że to się jakoś inaczej pojawi ten cegiek. Że protak będzie literalnie leżał na glebie i usłyszy głos, otworzy oczy, patrzy, o dupa. A potem spojrzy wyżej, o, Mew. You rock, Mew. I recognize that face anywhere. It's Mew. Mew? You mean there's a fairy just like her in your world too? Wait, why is she staring at you instead of me? Przepraszam, jestem przystojniejszy najwyraźniej. Did you do something to upset her, Marcisław? 20 kilometers away or not, I can't believe she brought her troops all the way out here. Isn't this obviously a hostile act towards Queen Morgan? Noknarea and her forces are still just within her territory. She claims she's only running military exercises in preparation for the Great Calamity. 10 days ago she was conducting those exercises 40 kilometers away. Now that Sheffield has fallen, she's closed the distance and come further down south. She must have 30,000 troops there. That's not just a threat, it's preparation for all-out war. How the hell does she keep them all fed? Oh, right, fairies don't need to eat. No, we don't. Unlike humans, that's one of Noknarea's army's defining characteristics. She despises humans and won't even use them in combat against Moors. She envisions a Britain run by and for fairies alone, with her as its sole monarch. That both does and doesn't sound like something Mev would say. That said, she won't be sending her troops any further. She has no definitive reason to challenge the High Queen, nor much chance of success if she were to try. The Northern Fairies have been incited to rebel against the High Queen several times before. Each time they find themselves retreating north with their tail tucked firmly between their legs. This time will be no different. Alright, that's enough idle chatter, let's go. We are about to pass through the main gate. From now on, I suggest you remain sharper than ever. O, ładnie tu. So this is Camelot's Castle Town. It's even bigger than Salisbury and even fancier than Gloucester. You can tell only upper-class fairies live here. The mana in the air here is like nowhere else in all Britain. And that castle keep over there must be where they keep the existence taxes, the magical energy they extract from every fairy in Britain through command spells. I've heard stories about it, but this is way beyond what I was expecting. No wonder they are not worried about Noknarea's army out there. It has to be way beneath their notice. Trying to take Morgan on now, someone would have been crazy to do it. I guess Bogart must have never set foot here before. If he had, he'd never have fought to rebel. Then again, maybe he knew what he was up against and decided to press on anyway. I thought I saw some writing on the gate when we went through it. Did anyone else see that? Or happen to catch what it said? I did. It said, "Only those free of sin may pass," in Old English. But I also noticed it had been painted over with red, like someone didn't agree. Bo ja muszę sobie coś dupnąć. I w sumie okej, dobra. Z jakiegoś powodu wydawało mi się, że można dwie GSSR-ki sobie dupnąć. Nope. This is as far as we go by carriage. The royal castle lies just ahead. Only the Child of Prophecy and the foreign mage have been granted audience with the High Queen. The rest of you will stay here, where you will be treated as the attendants of our honored guests. Oh, meaning what exactly? You see the Royal Hotel across the way? We have arranged for you to relax there while you wait. I will make arrangements for you all to reconvene once the meeting is concluded. However, your name is Da Vinci, yes? You seem like an intelligent, fair servant. As a human, the foreign mage will surely need an advisor. You may accompany him in that role. Oh, good. I was planning on tagging along regardless, but this makes things much easier. We may be on opposite sides, but I appreciate your consideration, Fairy Knight Gawain. Okay, Gareth, Muramasa, Habetrot, you heard the lady. You guys will have to stay here and wait for us. Don't worry, you've seen how well ordered the Queen's army is over these last 2 days. Morgan's obviously even more a sticker for rules than we thought. The three of us won't be in any danger even if we face her alone. We will be safe for at least as long as we are in Camelot, regardless of how the meeting goes. I'm not surprised. I did break into the castle my first time here. I didn't expect them to invite me in. Anyway, good luck in there, Artoria. Don't get so carried away you end up saying something you regret, alright? You too, Marcisław. Watch your partner's back, understand? I can't say I'm not worried, but strangely, I do agree that it feels like you will be safe. Okay, we will all be waiting for you here. Be careful, Artoria, and good luck. I'm fine with this arrangement too. I'm not interested in Morgan anyway. I'm just here to keep an eye on things until Marcisław and Mash are reunited. Let's go, Artoria. O, ta strzałka nie była aż taka długa. O, jaki śmieszny Camelot.
ホームズさんといえば世界で最も有名な探偵で絵や彫像の題材にもなっていますが、インバネスコートと鹿内棒は原作で描写されたことはないそうです。挿絵を担当した方のイメージだったようですね。ふと
Ej, to
興味を
było
覚えたので
całkiem
すが、
ciekawe, co ona
今まで
powiedziała.
いくつくらいのか
W
け
sumie
らを
wiedziałem
集
o
めて
tym,
きた
ale,
のでしょうか。
ale nie wiedziałem, kto był odpowiedzialny za to. Ło, jak w tym. Wiem, że to nie jest pierwszy raz, ale jak w Residentu Evilu. So this is Camelot's castle keep, the Queen's throne room. Kneel, present. Worship, submit. Emissaries to the throne, seize your briefing. 30 ambassadors, 100 officials, close your mouths. You are in the presence of High Queen Morgan, the king who expands our boundaries and upon whose shoulders all of Britain rests. Revel in her glory. Know this, child of prophecy, know this, foreign mage. This meeting is a sign of the High Queen's grace and amnesty. Thank you. It is so very good of you all to come, even without a formal invitation. My ambassadors and officials are now commanded to be silent until this meeting ends, or I order otherwise. The only people present permitted to speak are myself, my guests, and me, Berilgat, the Queen's hubby. Sorry, fancy fairies. Berilgat, so he really is here in Camelot. And did he say he's Morgan's husband? Hey there, Marcisław and friends. I haven't seen you all since Olympus. Why the look of surprise? Hey now, don't tell me Marsh didn't tell you I'm Morgan's... Yeah? Język francuski powinien zostać zakazany. Tak ogólnie. If you are here, then does this mean Queen Morgan's... Right, as a master yourself, of course that's where your mind goes, right, Marcisław? Yep, it's true, I admit it, I'm Morgan's master. The partner of the High Queen who rules over the land of the Fae. But that doesn't make any sense. Sure it does, and it's true. I mean, yeah, she's so far out of my league, I have a hard time believing it myself, but facts are facts. Artoria, I give you permission to approach. Raise your head. Okay. I see, it appears you truly are the child of prophecy. And you must be the foreign mage, the master of Chaldea, seeking so desperately to restore what you call proper human history. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Your efforts in Norwich would though commendable, were unnecessary. Still, you did well eliminating the calamity. I will therefore reward you accordingly. Typically, I would compensate you in the currency of my realm. Wolałbym nadanie ziemskie. Jak naprawdę szczerze, wolałbym nadanie ziemskie. However, I understand the source of your magical energy, spatial magical energy occupying value you refer to as QP, which are derived by viewing magical elements as particles, correct? O nie. QP jak dotychczas było walutą tylko w eventach. Ona ma zamiar nam zapłacić w QP. Mam nadzieję, że wie, że mam 150 milionów. I trust 100 million of these should suffice. Take them. Ej, chwila. To dostajemy skrzyneczkę. Jeżeli ta skrzyneczka na koniec chaptera się otworzy i w niej jest naprawdę 100 milionów QP, to będzie naprawdę zabawny zabawny troll. Ale przyjmowalny. Częściowo, bo zaraz zaczyna się Nerofest, a Nerofest da nam więcej. That much? And wait, does this mean you have a QP mint here? Of course not, I will simply create them myself by using your own Magecraft Systems methods. No, w sumie skoro to jest po prostu magiczne, energia magiczna posegregowana na cząsteczki, to nie powinno być takie trudne, mając energię magiczną, ją tak segregować. I have nothing more to say. If there is nothing else you wish to discuss, then our business is concluded. Artoria, Marcisław, if either of you would ask questions of me, now is the time. But be warned though, you are my guests. Careless words may cost you that status and the protection it affords. Looks like it's up to me to speak up first. So you will speak up first then? Very well, you are indeed brave. Tell me, conqueror of the 5 Lostbelts, what is it you want? Give me Rongominiat. Chaldea's goal is to resolve the bleached earth phenomenon. Yes, I am aware of the situation in the outside world, Berilgat has informed me. But there's been another anomaly detected in this Lostbelt that we need to resolve first. Oh, what sort of anomaly? Using an ability similar to Einzel's ability to prophesize, we've observed a future depicting a cataclysmic collapse. We don't yet know what causes this collapse or how it will actually happen, but if it isn't stopped, if it will spread across all of Britain and ultimately destroy the entire planet. That's why Chaldea came to ferry Britain. We need to investigate this collapse and prevent it from ever happening. Now that the Tree of Emptiness is gone, we have no quarrel with this Lostbelt. Our goal is to stop the world's collapse, that's all. I see, so you say you have come here not to conquer our world, but to save it, is that all? We also want a divine construct we can use against the foreign god. That's right, we are hoping to acquire the Sacred Lance Rongominiat, the incredibly powerful spell you cast at Olympus. We would like you to provide us with either a mystic code that lets us use that spell ourselves, or the magecraft theory we can use to recreate it. Olympus, foreign god? What in the world are those outsiders talking about? And how can they be so reckless making a demand of the High Queen of all people? Heh. Yes, I know the weapon you seek. I also believe you when you say you have come to save Britain. And so I will say this to you. You and your proper human history will come to a miserable end. This collapse you have observed will be the result of me expanding my territory. Widzieliśmy, że jej terytorium się zapadnie pod własną dupą, a nie, że się rozrośnie. Keep your shit together. I shall be the one to put a true and final end to your history. I would never willingly surrender my divine construct to you, my mortal enemy. Marcisław, arrogant child. To save your world, you will have to defeat me. What you call proper human history cannot be saved otherwise. Is that your way of declaring war on us, Queen Morgan? Proper human history and my realm can never coexist. If you wish to save your world, you will have to win it from me. I really thought she might be willing to listen. Now we have to fight after all? That goes for you too, Artoria, accursed child of Einsteur's prophecy. The year's end will bring a great calamity. It shall once again destroy every fairy in Britain. But fairies do not learn, ever. No matter how many times they die, they will always be born anew. O, to tak jak w Toho. As long as my castle remains intact, Fairy Britain shall always be reborn, even should all Britain burn. Your Majesty, are you saying you will only protect your kingdom, not your citizens? No, Morgan to jest po prostu przebrana Blu-raymi. Now with 200% racism. Yes, I offer fairies no salvation. I shall defend my land, nothing more. With all the magical energy I have stored in this throne, I have nothing to fear from the great calamity. Furthermore, only a chosen fairy can sit this throne. You are neither like other fairies, nor that foreign mage. You have been chosen. You are neither a rebel nor an invader. You are the staff of selection's chosen wielder. By accepting my invitation, you have proven yourself the true child of prophecy. You and you alone have the right to bring me to justice, fairies sent from paradise. Even though you fill oceans with the blood you shed in battle against me, you would be innocent of sin. If you wish to save Britain, you must defeat me and claim the throne for yourself. Go then, fulfill that absurd prophecy if you can. You should know better than anyone that you have no choice. Then it would seem our discussion has concluded. I'm pleased we now understand each other. W sumie, nie mogę myśleć za bardzo. To nie potrzebuje dalszego wytłumaczenia, ale dodam jeszcze, że no, muszę sprawdzić, kto jest twórcą Utawareru Monozan. Tamsoft. Czyli ludzie od Senran Kagury. Częściowo. Bo nie byłem pewien, czy cały gatunek Muso jest tworzony przez przez Omega Force, czy może ktoś inny też się tym zajmuje? I know, right? Who wants a nice peaceful resolution where everyone goes home buddy with no bloodshed? So on that note, you guys were stupid enough to come here with nothing more than faith in people's innate goodness and honor, and now your negotiations have completely broken down. You didn't really think you could live here without a fight, right? Of course not. Marcisław, Artoria, get behind me. I thought this might happen. Be silent. Potężne Ryatsu. Darcie pizdy w języku Beryla. Even now, these are my honored guests. I will permit not so much as a hair on their heads to come to harm, nor will I allow even an insult to their pride until they have left Camelot. You've gotta be shitting me! Forgive my husband's insolence, child. Daughter of Tintagel, so long as you remain Artoria, I shall not recognize you as my enemy. As long as the bells of pilgrimage remain unrung, my lords are forbidden from attacking any of you. Ej, jakby to był taki foreshadowing, ona tu powiedziała as long as you remain Artoria. Jakby to był taki foreshadowing tego, że to ona się naprawdę tak nazywa i to nie jest błąd tłumaczenia i po prostu pod koniec rozdziału zmieni imię na Artoria. I wtedy wszystkie Artorie w grze zmieniają imię na Artoria i wszędzie, gdzie jest napisane Artia, jest przepisane na Artoria. Ale to by było dobre. Szkoda, że świat nie jest based. Niestety świat jest całkiem cringe. As long as the... However, if she does start ringing the bells and officially declares herself the child of prophecy, then and only then shall I name her along with Chaldea my enemies and marshal my army against you. I therefore advise you think very carefully before beginning a war you cannot possibly win. Znaczy, ja rozumiem, że oni mają dość dużo mocy przerobowych i tak dalej, ale po jednej stronie stoi Mew, zaraz na samej granicy i tylko patrzy na Camelot bardzo gniewnym wzrokiem. Po drugiej stronie jest Percival ze swoją Rebel Army. I jako z trzeciej strony jeszcze przyjdziemy my z naszymi kosynierami, no to będą w takim tak zwanym Big Uff. A Major F, jak to dzisiejsza młodzież by powiedziała. Albo jeszcze lepiej, Certified Bruch moment. Therefore I advise you think very carefully before beginning a war you cannot possibly win. Now stand down. I am certain there is nothing left to say. Or is there? Where did you take Mash? Mash? What is that? That's my cute little eggplant. That's the name of our companion, the one you swallowed up with the spell you usually use to get rid of calamities. She's a demi-servant with the spirit origin of Galahad, the Shield Knight. Since you named your fairy knights after other knights of the Round Table, I'm sure you must know that name too. I see, that explains it. Yes, I hold your knight captive. Where is she? I see no reason I should tell you, she is my trophy. A jak nie chcę mówić, nie chcę tego powiedzieć mi, to może powie to moim pionkom. But I can assure you she is alive and well. No one can harm her, not even me. Brzmi to strasznie... convenient. Jeszcze 2 strzałeczki. Czyżby naprawdę nikt nie chciał się z nami lać? At least we have a small lead on Mash now, but... Yeah, it wasn't much of a discussion, was it? She basically just told us we are enemies and threatened to show us no mercy if we dare to defy her. Yep, can't say it was a very productive talk. We now know that Morgan definitely sees proper human history as her enemy. And we now know that Mash is safe but being kept in captivity somewhere. No, jest taki termin używany w pewnych kręgach, takich niezbyt fajnych kręgach jak trophy wife. No. A wy myśleliście, że Morgan tylko do Protaga podchodzi i deklaruje go swoją żoną? Każdy berserker ma swoje queerki. But that's just confirmation of some things we already at least suspected. I didn't see anything that could give us any kind of clue as to how we could possibly beat her in a fight. We didn't learn anything useful about the divine construct either. Actually, we did make just a bit of progression there. Regardless, that atrium in the... Remember that atrium in the throne room? The one overlooking the pit? Well, I noticed a distinct magical energy pattern nearby. It was very similar to the Lion King's in the Sixth Singularity. That confirms for me that Morgan has Rongominiat on hand in weaponized form. And now just one or two of them, and not just one or two of them either. She must have at least 10 in place around Camelot's main gate. And with that many of them on hand, she must have already used them here several times before. So we can assume the one she threw at Olympus must have been just one of several she had at the ready. It would have been great if she'd been willing to sell us just one of them, but it's pretty clear that's not an option. So now the only way for us to complete our initial objective of acquiring that divine construct for ourselves is to defeat Morgan. We definitely have our work cut out for us, don't we? Still, at least we made it out of there safe and sound, so we also know that Queen Morgan is true to her word. True, both Morgan herself and all of Camelot might be so stuffed with magical energy it's downright chilling, but she was also adamant about upholding the laws she set as queen. She didn't even listen to Beryl when he tried to break them. I know, Marcisław, that only makes it all the more mysterious. Tak przypomnę swoją drogą, dlaczego to nie ma sensu, że Morgan jest serwantem tego Beryla. Bo skoro Morgan niby jest tutaj królem Lostbeltu i to od samego początku, a Beryl pojawił się tutaj tak w zeszłym roku max, to nie ma sensu. Bo oni swoich serwantów przywołali wcześniej. Beryl said he was Morgan's master. If that's true, it would make her a servant. No, jest precedens, że serwant może zostać królem Lostbeltu. Patrz, Anastazja. Na samym końcu została na chwilkę królem Lostbeltu, ale no to tutaj dochodzi to, co powiedziałem chwilę temu. Timeline się nie zgadza. But it can't be true, because she's been ruling Fairy Britain for the last 2000 years. Beryl couldn't have come to this Lostbelt any sooner than the end of 2019, just like all the other crypters. Obviously, Morgan would have already been the queen of this land by then, so he couldn't possibly have summoned her as a servant. So the question is he lying about that, or is it being made to believe it? Either way, we need a lot more information before we can draw any conclusions. Oh hey, they are back. Guys, over here. Welcome back, Artoria, Marcisław. So, how's the audience go? How the audience go? What's Queen Morgan really like? Was she terrifying? Was she strong? Was she really 10 meters tall? I mean, anyone who would take Tristan in as a daughter must eat nothing but other fairies, right? Well, she definitely seemed like a queen. Cut that out, Gareth. Can't you see the Child of Prophecy is doing her best not to spoil your fun? The truth is that the queen was completely ordinary, right, Artoria? Isn't that what you want to say? I can tell I'm an expert at reading fair maidens' minds. After all, don't worry, Artoria, it's okay to be yourself. I don't know much about how maidens think, but being yourself is good advice. Deep down you are a stubborn shrew with a fierce competitive streak, right? Hey yo, Muramasa, your inner Shiro is speaking out. If anything, you were probably thinking something like, the queen? I thought I would take her any day of the week. Give me 1,000 years and I'd probably be way stronger than her. I wasn't thinking anything of the sort. And couldn't you at least make it 100 years? Guess we won't be getting a Kashi carriage escort back to Norwich, especially after they basically kicked us out of town. I wasn't expecting the way back to be easy, but now that it's time to go, it's looking harder than ever. If they'd just given us at least one carriage, we could have had a nice, comfortable ride back to... Oh, hello, fancy running into all of you here. I was out taking our new carriage for a test drive, and I just happened to find myself in Camelot. Jeez, to jest dopiero szybka karoca. Chłop tylko lekko depnął, już przejechał pół Brytanii. Seems like fate to me. Go on, get in. Don't be shy. Oberon, you sly dog. Yep, I figured you'd be finishing up around now. O, ej, pierwszy raz mi się zdarzyło, dosłownie, ugryźć się w język. Ciekawe. I take it your audience with the queen's all done now? I'd love to hear all about it, but first... We should probably get going before our presence here gives the queen's army any ideas. O, Redra się ubrał. Założył kamizelkę. Hello everyone, I'm glad to see you haven't been tempted by any other carriages. Say hello to our new and improved carriage. It's now got 6 passenger seats and 2 sleeping berths. With this bad boy, I can promise you all a more comfortable journey around Britain than ever before. Redra slaps the carriage with this bad boy. You will see they don't call me Redra Homestretch Beat for nothing. That's great to hear about the carriage, but why are you glammed up to? Once I told the fairies of Norwich I was one of Child of Prophecy's attendants, they were delighted to absolutely pamper me. The Earth Clan fairies whipped this armor up for me during the celebration. I see. Well, that's nice. I just hope you are ready to pay for it yourself. Głośne westchnienie. Dlaczego zapieprzamy na północ? O kurde, by proceeding through this quest, 100,000 QP will be gifted to you by the High Queen. Any QP that exceeds the maximum limit cannot be received. Is that okay?
回避や無敵には
Nie tu. Chyba tak. Chyba mam jeszcze troszeczkę miejsca. Oni na serio to zrobili. Teraz poproszę wytłumaczenie od Oberona, dlaczego lecimy na północ. And that's how our audience with Morgan ended. Więc na razie. Well, she certainly didn't mince words, did she? Morgan is eager for this fight. I'd hoped there might be some way to broker peace if Keldia and Child of Prophecy met with her together, but she obviously never had any intention of giving up her throne for the Child of Prophecy, the true king. And that's not all, Morgan doesn't even plan on saving Britain. She said she was going to expand her territory and destroy the outside world, right? I was already pretty sure that was her plan, but I didn't know how she planned on pulling it off. But after hearing about your meeting, I think I've got it. She's going to use the Great Calamity herself. How so? Remember the water mirror spell she used at Norwich? That's what she's usually used to... That's what she always used to get rid of calamities before. Isn't that right, Habetrot? Yep, she doesn't usually break it out at that massive a scale, but that teleportation spell is one of her go-tos. O fakt, czyli ona wcale nie naprawia calamity, tylko wysyła je do śmietnika. Nic dziwnego, że ten śmietnik jest obtoczony dookoła rongominiadami. W któryś Soulsach było? Czy może nawet w Elden Ringu? Może w tym, może w Demon Soulsach. O, tam chyba to było. So even if Marcisław and Marsh hadn't gone to such extraordinary lengths, she wouldn't still made the calamity disappear. She would have still made the calamity disappear. Or rather, she would have made it her own. I think Morgan's been trying to acquire the calamities for herself. And if she is, that must mean she's able to harness their magical energy and use it as her own. That's the magical energy she is going to use to overwrite Marcisław's world, proper human history, and make it her territory. She's going to take the curse meant to destroy the world of fairies and use it to destroy the world of humans. That's her plan. She's not out to stop the great calamity, she wants it to happen. So instead of getting rid of the great calamity, she is going to use it as a weapon, even though she has more than enough power to banish it like she did in Norwich. But that would mean only the fairies inside Camelot would survive. Gee, brzmi zupełnie jak Camelot z pierwszego partu. Now that you mention it, those upper-class fairies in Camelot all looked down on the other cities. I even heard them say stuff like, the only fairies worth anything are those from Camelot, with a straight face. They've completely bought the whole privileged class nonsense the Queen fed them. I'm sure they just think of the Child of Prophecy as an irritant. I know the Queen said she wouldn't consider us her enemy until we rang one of the bells of pilgrimage, but she's also married to Beryl, right? It's a good thing Oberon showed up with the courage when he did, cause there's no telling when he might have sent troops after us. He said it, first things first, we should put some distance between us and Camelot. We can figure out our next course of action after that. If nothing else, we know exactly what we have to do now. If we are going to save Britain, our world and Marsh, we are going to have to defeat Morgan. Several hours after the meeting at the emptied throne room. Still no sign of movement from the pit. That is concerning. That aside, a great calamity that comes every 1,000 years, huh? The sheer idiocy of these fairies never ceases to amaze. At least it is useful. I will use whatever I must to erase proper human history forever. O cholera, to jest to coś. Myślałem, że w sumie przestało istnieć. You again. You know that merely observing will resolve nothing. If you are truly the foreign god's priestess, you should at least try to kill me. Though of course that assassination attempt by the disciple of the foreign god did not go so well for him. No servant comprised of a heroic spirit from proper human history can hope to match my fairy knights. If you will do nothing but stand there and watch, then do not show yourself. I tire of looking at you. If there is something you wish to say, if there is something you wish to say to me, then speak as he did. Sorry to interrupt your chat. I would have knocked, but there's no door here. Of course not. Why would I welcome guests merely because they come knocking? I do have a waiting room though, had you cared to use it. You mean the ghost ward down below? It is majestic but unnecessary. I don't have time to wait. I'm neither omnipotent nor a talented mage like yourself. I'm just an ordinary man capable of nothing but ordinary work. Truthfully, I should be avoiding places like this where I have no business in the first place. Co on to robi? Your actions defy comprehension. Fuck, mogłem to zescreenować, to brzmiało cool. You are clearly from Chaldea. You are on the side of proper human history. While the foreign god means to wipe the slate of human history clean, I could end up destroying it before she gets a chance. Is that not why you are here? To stop me? No, if you can really destroy it, go ahead. What? True, if left to your own devices, I'm sure you will indeed destroy this planet and erase humanity. O, to się przyda. And that is preferable to the foreign god achieving her goal. Your goal is to wipe out proper human history so you can expand the land of the Fae and rule as its queen. I can't approve of your goal or your approach to pursuing it, but I do respect what you've accomplished. So I will neither try to interfere with your plans nor lend Chaldea my aid. If you should succeed in rendering this planet a lifeless husk, I have no objection. If you are not here to interfere, then why have you come? You claimed you had no time to waste, did you not? I came to see what you've created here. It deserves at least that much. You saw the Tree of Emptiness for what it really was, and instead of fearing it, you used it yourself. You grasped Chaldea's summoning system instantly and made it your own. Those are truly exceptional accomplishments. There are sent few who have even approached your level of godlike genius. Now, do you understand, High Queen Morgan? I came here to praise you. I cannot imagine there is anyone else willing or able to give you the accolades you deserve. Your estimation of my magecraft skill means nothing to me. If anything, it sounds snide. Now, if that is all you have to say, then leave. This world is soon to be mine. There will be no place in it for either the foreign god or a beast. I know, this was the last chance to intervene anyway. Even if I did try to get in your way now, it wouldn't change anything. If my aim were to stop what is happening here, I have come 2,000 years too late. Your history is perfect, your script is complete. While you did make a mistake with Tristan, your victory is still close at hand. As one who has stood in this very position, I wanted to applaud you and the path you've taken. In my estimation, neither the Child of Prophecy nor the Master of Chaldea have any hope of defeating you. Though of course, were a third player who has yet to show themselves to intervene, that could change things considerably. Pieniądze. Ej, chwiaco, Londinium. Nam się chyba trochę strony pojebały. Lecimy do Edynburga. Najlepsze jest to, że to jest kanon, że Morgan nam dała 100 milionów QP. Jak to powiedzieli w takiej bajce, that's a canon event. O, prawie wszystko jest wypisane z ery High Queena. No, czyli kolejny chapter to Londinium. To się tam udamy w kolejnym, czyli jutro. Tymczasem mam nadzieję, że się podobało. Zostawcie lajka, jeżeli tak, do zobaczenia jutro. Kochani dzieci Boże, na razie. Kurwa, ale jest ciepło. God damn hot.